Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Victor Sandoval, and this is videos for WFED 106, Assignment 6. Today we're going to be going over how to safely change a prop on your boat and all the steps to get that done correctly. This video is going to pick up basically where I left off on the first one. So the boat's already hooked to the trailer, or the trailer's already hooked to the truck, so I know that everything's safe. Otherwise, the first thing we would do is make sure everything's chalked up before we do anything with the boat. But since I know we're already ready to go, we're going to get started. Before doing anything, or when first teaching someone how to do this, I like to do a couple things. I like to make a procedures list, a safety checklist, and a parts list. There's different kind of props. Today the prop we're going to be working with is a Bravo 1 prop. There's also different brands. This one here is a Hydromotive, and they come with different kinds of parts and attachments. So that's why I like to make a parts list and a checklist. This one here has a locking washer, and the spleen that's inside, it's one piece with the hub. This one here is a two-piece hub with an RBX hub piece inside and a locking nut. It's all separate from the prop. So basically you want to make a list of what kind of prop you're working with and what kind of parts it has. A couple of the different tools we're going to need to get this done. I've got a rubber mallet. This is just a piece of 2x4. I've put it in carpet to protect the prop. These are stainless steel props. They range anywhere from $500 all the way up to $1,000. So you want to protect your prop whenever you're doing this. This is one type of prop wrench. This one here has a little lip here. It's good for pulling the metal tabs on these props. So as you can see here on my tab washer, they have different tabs. So this piece here works really well for bending it up. This is a more standard prop wrench. You can get this one pretty much at any marine shop. It's a little cheaper, it's 20 bucks. It's just a plastic prop wrench. The good thing is it's a little bigger, larger handle, so you can get a little bit more leverage. When we're taking it off, that's where you want the leverage. When we're putting it on, it's not a strongman contest, so we're going to be light. Again, before getting started, once I have my procedures list, I kind of want to look at everything and get a feel for everything before I do anything. So a lot of times it's good to take pictures or even to take a video of everything it is before you take it apart. That way once it's back together, everything's back together. Right here you can see there's no play in the prop, so that's one thing I noticed, and when I put the prop back on I want to make sure that it's the same way. I look and I can see that I got about 5 threads showing, so same thing, once I tighten it back on I want to be similar to what I got. This prop here, it does have a metal tab. This tab's broken, so I don't need to bend it up right now. The tab basically locks against this flat part and it keeps it from spinning, so I'd have to flatten that tab first and then spin it. Since it's missing, I can go ahead and just get started. I'm going to take my wood block. If I were to try to spin this, the prop is going to spin with it. So I need to get this wood block here, and I need to wedge it up nice and snug. Once I've got it nice and snug, I can go ahead and start trying to loosen the prop here. Nice and easy, like I said. We don't need to do a strongman contest here. We're just trying to loosen the prop up. If it's your first time, I would recommend having this be a two-man job. You can have someone hold the prop for you while someone spins the wrench. I do have a little more experience changing props out, so it can be done one man. But like I said, if you're first time doing it, two-man job, get it done easy. So now I've got that off here. And again, I set everything up here on my towel. That way I make sure I don't lose any parts or pieces. Now I can go ahead and just slide the prop right off. I want to hold it this way here because there are parts here that I don't want to lose. This here is my spleen, which goes inside my hub here. So it goes inside that hub. Like I said, it's a completely different hub than that Hydromatic over there. So if you look inside, that's the hub that this slides into. If I wanted to change that hub out and I had a different Bravo 1 prop where I needed that, I could stick that mallet in there, wedge that out, and push it through. Since I'm just going to go ahead and put the prop right back on, I'm not going to do it right now. That's going to slide right back on in there. If I were to put this hub on here, there is no top piece. So like I said, that spline is one piece on the inside. There is nothing that comes out. So this prop would just slide right on. Come here. Slide that on. The teeth line up there. This nut would go on here, And then there's a piece that would go on that locking ring. It's going to be a little bit different. You would have this locking ring here. That sits inside. Then I would take my nut, screw this on, once it were tight, I would spin that in place. These tabs bend down in between the two grooves, and these tabs would bend up to lock on this flat piece. So depending on what kind of prop you're working with, it's going to be different pieces. Since I like that prop best, I'm going to go ahead and put that one back on. There's a lot of different reasons someone would change their prop. This prop here, I'm going to be able to run the boat a little bit faster. I'm going to get up on plane a little quicker, so if I'm pulling a tube or a skier or a wakeboarder, this prop's just going to do things that that prop's not going to do as well. This prop here, this is like my all-around prop, so that prop has a purpose, this prop has a purpose. Different props do different things, so that's one reason you would change it. Another reason would be damage. If I were to damage this prop, get a nick or an imperfection in it, you'd want to switch it out because it's going to affect the handling and the running of the boat. So depending on what you're looking to do, you're going to have different pieces and different props. Like I said, they vary in price as well, so a lot of people, if I were to go run this boat in the river right now, there's a chance that I'd hit the prop on the bottom. So instead of running a $400 or $500 stainless prop, maybe I'd switch up to an aluminum prop, pick those up for like 60 bucks. So depending on what you're looking to do, that's going to determine the prop that you're going to choose to use. These props are also very sharp, so you want to be careful. You want to make sure that you're handling it properly, otherwise you're going to have a chance of cutting yourself. So again, just depending on what you're doing, different things. And then as you can see, I like to keep all my parts together. I don't like to mix match parts. That's how you lose things or you start getting confused. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to put this prop back on, tighten it back down. As I did that, my hub kind of came out, so I'm going to gently work that back in and make sure that that's sitting flush. The boat was just recently serviced, so there is a lot of grease on it. Good to have shop towels handy, that way you can wipe everything down. Now that I've got that back in place, I want to make sure that these two tabs here, these are my locking tabs. I want to make sure that those are sitting flush where they're supposed to be. I am missing the two tabs that would lock onto the bolt, but I'll replace those next time I run the boat. I didn't realize they were missing some now. So now I'm going to go ahead and hand tighten this back down. Get it to about where it's hand tightened. And then one more time, I'm going to have to get my block of wood in there. This boat here does have a water pickup that hangs in the water. This water pickup here picks up water and it showers it over my outdrive. As I'm running the boat harder, the boat starts heating up, so this water pickup here picks up water, showers it over the outdrive, make sure nothing heats up. With that all being said, I want to make sure that I avoid hitting it when I'm doing this, so I'm going to very carefully put the 2x4 there and start tightening everything up. Again, two-man job makes it a little bit easier. I'm limited on hand, so we're going to do it by ourselves. We looked at it before, we saw how many threads we were getting, so I can tell already that I'm getting close. Like I said again, this is not a strongman contest, we just want to get it tight enough that there's no play in the prop. So right there starting to feel pretty tight, so I'm going to go ahead and check what we got going. That way I don't over tighten it. All these fittings in here are made out of brass. As soon as they heat up, you can start bending the fittings. We don't want to do that. So right there, even though it's just hand tightened, we can see there's no play in the prop, and I feel pretty good about this. My grooves are still lined up. Again, I'm going to get this tool and I'm going to push them down, make sure everything's good. I feel safe about that. One more time, I'd have this square here. It would flip up and lock right on that flat part. So I know that this is in a good spot. I am just missing those tabs. Now that the prop's back on, this would be a good time to go over our procedures list again. Make sure that we had followed all of our procedures and that everything's done correctly, and then go over all of our parts list. Obviously, if you have any extra pieces, something went wrong. So parts list is good. And then we want to go over our tool list. I'm pretty tedious with my tools. I like to make sure that I have them. So I like to go over the tools, make sure I have everything that I need, and that I put them back where I got them. So the next time I need to remove a prop, everything I need is there to go. So again, prop's done, tools are in place, and at this point we can walk away with the job well done. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate your time. Have a great day.